Hello everyone. In today's video we will be looking at the best fame farm for a solo player. Now this set is not necessary. You can use any solo group PvE set at 6.3 or 7.3. It will work, but the efficiency will be reduced accordingly. Now let's look at the set we are using. We are using a Shadow Collar, Spectre Hood, Alien Jacket, Guardian Boots, Muisak and Alien Hurst Cape. Now, along with these items, there are three more important components to this build. Whatever solo group PvE set you are using, roast pork is absolutely mandatory. You need this for any solo group PvE set. You also need an invisibility potion because if you are about to get downed and you go invisible, the mobs will drop aggro and you will be safe. Always carry this can help you prevent big repair bills. And the another important component is a winter bear or any really tanky mount for that matter. If you don't have silver and you're using 6.3 or 7.3 sets, you can buy a tier 6 or tier 7 transporter socks. Those will be 200 to 300,000. They are cheap and they work. They're not as good as this, but they work. If you have some more silver, you can buy a grizzly bear that will be around 1 million, and that is better than the oxes. Now, if you don't have any problems with silver, buy a winter bear. This is expensive, but this is really tough and tanky to kill. Now, let's see what we are exactly doing for this fame farm. Now, if you look at the map, every city has these static zones around it. Now, your goal is to find a tier 4 zone that is hosting a static zone. Now, this is a tier 4 zone and it does not have any statics. Now, this is another tier 4 zone, but that is hosting a static zone. Alright, your goal is to find these static zones. So once you find these static zones, you can just ride there with a really fast mount. For this, I'm using a husky. You can use your bears or any other tank you want if you wish, but this is optional. This just increases our speed of reaching the destination. This is not necessary. We will be switching to the bear as soon as we reach the static. Now these statics are present for every city and you have to look for them. I can show you where the statics are at every city. Like there's one over here at tier 4. Uh, this is for Thetford. There's one over there. See, just if you just open your map and look around your city, you can find your static zones. Just find them and you will be able to farm there. Now usually there are tier 5 statics too around your cities. Now if you look at this, there's a tier 5 static here and there is a tier 4 static here and a tier 3 here. Now these three zones are really close to the city, which means that they are very accessible to the people in the Sterling city. Now because of this, all three of these zones will be overcrowded, which means there will not be enough mobs for you to kill. Now if you take your time and travel a little further to this zone, which is like what, 3 zones away, you will not have as much competition as you would have if you farm in these 3 zones. Now always take your time, go to a zone that is a little further away from the city and farm there. And you should always farm in tier 4 zones, not tier 5. Tier 5 zones give more fame, but they are a lot harder to do and they are usually overcrowded. Now tier 4 zones, they are easier to do than tier 5s. They give great fame and they are not as crowded as tier 5 zones. Now let's get to the dungeon and I'll show you guys how to farm. Now before I go there, I know some of you guys will just skip to the end to see how much rewards we get. and don't do that. If you want to follow this guide, watch the whole video. I'll show you guys how to use this build over there and how to pull those mobs, how to clear them. You'll miss out on all of that if you skip, and you'll get a big repair bill when you try to do this content. So if you're planning on doing this content, watch the whole video, and yeah, I'll see you guys at the dungeon. Okay, we are at the dungeon, and yeah, let's see how to pull some mobs. And the most important thing while doing this content is knowing how many mobs your build can handle and not pulling over what you can handle. Do moderate sized pulls. You don't have to flex on these mobs by pulling 100 of them. Just get some of them and yeah, start blasting. Obviously dodge the AoEs max. I got stunned there, so I got hit by a few AoEs. Use the E spell. See, this is pretty easy. And it's great fame too. We already finished our faction daily on the first level. Look. Now, if you look at this counter, there's like 9 people in this entire zone, and most of them are people in this type of gear. So there are not many people competing for your mobs basically. That's why we took our time, went a little further away from the city, and yeah, we are farming here with no competition. Now, this is another decent sized school. You should never use your guardian boots when your heal spells are active, because that will half your healing. So wait for the heal spell to finish and use the guardian boots after that. And immediately after you run out of guardian, use another heal spell. Like, this used to be a lot easier before the Hellion jacket got nerfed, but even now this is doable. You just have to pull a little less amount of mobs than what you could back in the day. Okay, this is a easy pull. There's just two archers. Now when you're fighting archers, it's really important that you kill them first. In any pull, if there's two archers, you should not pull more than 3 other mobs, because these archers do a lot of damage and they don't clump together when you're fighting with melee mobs. Just look at the numbers going up: 12,000, 13,000, 11,000, and the silver too. I will tally all of the silver I get in this silver tab. So after 30 minutes, we'll know how much silver we make. Now, if you look at the map, there is a boss over there. Let's go and kill that real quick. Now, before going in, I'll check my cooldowns. Everything's up. Yeah, let's go. We'll go straight to the boss. This is a big pull. Ah, not very good. That guy resets. So I think this is the boss monster. Wait for them to clump up. Dismount. Use your fuse. If you are low on health, use the E spell. If not, use the Hellion. Oh, they interrupted the Spectre route, so this might be bad. My Hellion ran out, so I'm using the Guardian Boots. I'll use the E spell after the Guardian Boots. Like, now, using my E spell for maximum effect. And when the E spell is active, you can tank some hits. In this time, use the beam to get your DPS out. And that's that. It's pretty easy. See, just from that one pull, it went from here to here. That's how many faction points you get from doing this. Okay, so let's clear the rest of the mobs in this pool. So it shutdowns in 30 minutes. That is perfect actually. I'll be in city within this 30 minutes. Look, these archers are staying far apart, but The melee mobs, they get clumped together. This is why you don't pull many archers. Archers are really dangerous. Use the E spell. I'm focus killing this archer at the start. No. Dodge the AoE. I know that it might be a little hard to notice the AoE spells on the ground, especially on this color, but you'll get used to it if you play for a little bit. That pull is cleared. It was a little sloppy, but we got it. And I wish they just not drop this tier 2 items. Okay, there is one enchanted mob over there. Let's kill that too. Now I know that this will be a long video, but watch it. You will learn a lot about how to do solo group content if you just watch this video. These mobs are harder than the group dungeon mobs. If you can learn how to do this, you can easily solo group dungeons. Right. Now, especially in these dungeons, you have to always check these three corridors and this center, as all four of these spots contain bosses. If no one's cleared those bosses, that's just free loot for you. So let's go and check the corridors. And we'll kill this enchanted pool here. Again, there are archers, so keep away from them. If you go close to them, they will move away, so don't go too close. Use the E spell, pull back, and start DPS from a range. I'll kill this guy later. Archers are down. Nice. Okay, let's clear this pool. Walk around in circles so they all get clumped up together nicely. You can take your time with this. Actually, taking your time is better than rushing in. Look, now they all fit under one Q spell. Dodge the ice rain, dodge the smack. Now I got kicked out of the mount radius. That is really bad, because if you're about to get killed, you can just mount up. That will remove the aggro. And especially for this situation, we bought our invisibility potions. If I was about to get down here, I'll just go invisible and that will drop the aggro. Let's throw out some of this trash. Yeah. Okay, let's wait for the cooldowns. 28 seconds. Okay. Is there a boss over there? I don't think so. Okay, let's just go in. Now these are all melee mobs, which means it's an easy pull. Just look at the size of this and see how easy it is to kill them. Open with the Q spell, open with the E. You should always start out with the E spell if you are fighting big pulls. After the Hellion runs out, use the Hellion again, beam, use the Guardian. Now this might actually be a little too much. Let's see though. Dodge the spells. No, that was harder than I thought. Maybe because I stood in a bunch of attacks, but we still got it. and our E spell is back. So yeah, that was tough, but we managed it. Obviously you can't do pulls as big if you're using a 6.3 or a 7.3 set, but you can still do this content. You can pull 2 or 3 mobs at once. Okay, let's go on with the next pull. Now this pull is harder than that one, just because there's 2 archers involved. You have to dance around these stupid poison arrows. Don't get too close to them. Disengage after using ease. Now there's a lot of things to consider when you're fighting archers. But, and the frost mages too. The frost mages are really annoying to fight as well. See, when you're fighting archers, the melee get free reign over you because they just don't stand together at the same spot. You can't hit everything at once. But if you're fighting a complete melee pull, your attacks will hit everything at the same time. Now this guy should die to the Hellion, hopefully. Yeah. Right, we finished the faction daily. How long has it been? Uh, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. I wasted some time around there, so. Right, another big pull. See, this is why you need the tanky mods. See, it's funny that my mount died as soon as I said you need a tanky mount. It still had the damage from the previous pull on it, so you might have to reset your mount every time after a pull if you're using a really low tier one. I avoid using the long cooldown spells like Guardian or Spectre if I can, but just use them. Don't be stingy with them if you're on a low tier set. Okay, let's go and check this corridor. After that, we'll check the center stadium. Oh, that's a big pull. Okay, let's go. Never pull 4 archers. That is a dumb idea. You will die. Don't get greedy. Use the E. Move back so they don't move back. I'm eating a lot of AoE spells here because I don't have much space to maneuver, and it's just 3 mobs. You can take AoEs from 3 mobs and be fine with it. Alright, let's kill these 2. See, I got hit by those poison arrows and the stuns. I don't think I'll need heals if it's just these 2. I'll save cooldowns. Nice. Always pick up those items because these are undead mobs and they might drop the undead crest. That is a big ticket item. A lot of profit on that. Okay, let's pull all of these mobs together. Let's get this guy too. And that should be good enough. Right, dismount. And every time you select a mob, that should be the mob with the highest health pool remaining. If you select a mob with low health, it will die to the beam and you'll waste the beam. Just look at how messy it is because of these archers. They keep walking away. What interrupted? Let's just throw a Q under this one. Right. Trash that. Trash that too. 18 seconds. So that's not too bad. We'll get that by the time we dismount. I think someone's been farming here. There's no bosses. There is 2 enchanted archers in that pool, so let's just do this one first and move on to the others later. It somehow aggroed the frost mage over here to come out. We'll use these mobs as a health battery. We'll just fight the archers for now. Man, this is so hard. Use the guardian and mount up. So mounting up removes all of your aggro. That's why you need a big mount and you need the mount close to you. Now if the mount was despawned, I could have used an invisibility potion over there. So that just saved me a 300k repair bill. Check on the cooldowns, they're almost back. Now if it's just these two mobs, I don't need all of the cooldowns. Let's just kill them real quick. And of course they have to come here because I said it's just these two mobs. Alright. We should still be able to do it. As long as we dodge the AoE spells, we'll be good to go. Now, use the Spectre Hood since it's back off cooldown. Use the Hellion. And yeah, it's pretty easy. See, the most dangerous mobs are the archers and the frost mages. Don't do big pulls if they are involved. Throw that out. Right. 20 seconds. Actually, we can ignore that 20 seconds because we can sustain those 20 seconds with our first Hellion Jacket and the E-Spell. Okay. This is a nice pull. There is no archers and there's a bunch of melee mobs. You have to open with the E-Spell here because the Hellion will be on cooldown. Use the beam when you are giant so you can tank some attacks. Use Hellion and Spectre at the same time. Dodge the AoEs. Use the second Hellion and beam. Yeah. See, we got a nice big pull there. Let's trash this. Okay, now we have finished all 3 of the corridors. What do you call this? Now let's check the middle stage. Oh boy, that's a big pull. Okay. Oh, there's a Limhurst boy over here. I hope this guy does not want a fight. He can kill me quite easily now if he wants me dead. I'll just use the invis. Oh, that did not work. Damn. Yeah, the Limhurst guy messed me up. Alright. Let's see what he has. I panicked for nothing. Yeah, it's the same set as me. See, this is a risk you have to face when you're here. Let's just end this guy real quick. Right. And this guy has a lot of fame. I'll use the Guardian for move speed and beam. Is it just a little too far? Just have to touch him with the W and he'll die. Or did you guys see that lag? He just teleported. That's good. Now because we downed that guy, we get defense of the land bonus faction points. Right. So I see a lot of faction flag people here. I'll just unflag. They can't mess with me anymore. You get your faction points if you are the only one here, but it's just not worth the risk of fighting other guys. Alright. Now we are not faction flagged, so those guys can't interfere with us and we can't interfere with them. Oh, I accidentally used the Q spell on the mod. We got one of our campaign chests. See, we got the faction defense, 7,000 points. I will reset after killing these. Right, let's kite for a little bit. Use the Guardian. Use the East spell since it's back. Right. I'm dipping out now. Mount up. Or you can mount up because you are poison. Okay. So we still have 5 minutes. Let the combat log catch up and we'll see how much we got from that. Just look at the numbers go up. They just keep going up. So 500k fame credits. Alright. So that is a million fame credits even without using auto respec or the satchel. That's insane. Oh, this guy. Okay, do you remember this guy? This guy we just down. We can get this pull. There's only one answer. He's trying to steal the pull. You can have it. I really don't care. Yeah, you can have that. I'll get another pull. See, I don't want to waste my time competing with this guy. He thinks I lose, but he's the one getting a repair bill now. He's just salty because we don't have. Right. Man, we are here for PvE. Why are you calling me a coward for running away? That's a good drop over there. See, just insane how salty people get. Right, let's use the heal. Use the Spectre Hood. If I stayed there competing with that guy over what, like 4 or 5 mobs, it just make the entire pull inefficient. He'd get some of those mobs, I'll get some of them. I mean, I'd rather just get some more mobs from the other pull, right? How long? 2 minutes, okay. We have time for 1 or 2 more pulls, maybe. How much cooldowns we have? 13 seconds. That's good enough. We can get this pull. I will try to cut some parts out of this 30 minutes so you guys don't get as much watch time basically. Some people get it boring. This guy is doing the exact same thing as we are, but he's from Limhurst, I think. See, even people from Limhurst use the winter bear. How much specters you have? See, this guy can't beat me even if we fought. I don't know why he's on about fighting me. I have 110 spec on my shadow collar. Okay, that's it for the food buff. Let's head out. So the overall, the run was pretty nice. We did not waste much time. It could be a little better, but you know what can we do? There are some interruptions in between. Let's see how much we get from the rewards. We have 500k fame credits without using satchels or auto respec. That is great. That means million fame credits per hour without spending any money. Now let's see the silver. Silver set 100k. Let's round it up. The faction points I think were at 30,000 before I started recording. Now they are at 48,000. So around two. How much is it? 20k. Yeah, around 20k. Since there is only 4 minutes left, I will just pay the 60k for repair. Not repair, the transport. If I had some more time, I could have just walked back, see how much we got from the silver after we go back. I'll also open these chests. Claim, claim, faction. I just claimed it, okay. Yeah, look forward to this chest. Let's see how much we get. How many faction points do we have again? 48. Man, I should have gotten 2 more. If I got 2k more faction points, I could buy this pair that is worth a million. So let's calculate the silver per hour of this activity. I'll quickly deposit the husky. We got 100k. I'm not counting these, by the way. These are just bonus. So 100 plus 100 on the silver pickups, that is 200k in 30 minutes. 200k plus 20,000 faction points. If we have some more enchanted mobs, whatever, let's round it off to 25 since it's easier for us to calculate that way. So in 1 hour, we can farm enough points to buy the winter bear. That is a million silver per hour right there. And we have 200k worth of items and silver pickups. That is 400k in 1 hour, right? So 1.4 million silver per hour without getting any chests. We did not loot any chests over there. This is just item drops. So anywhere between 1.5 to 2 million silver per hour. That is really great actually. Alright guys, that's it for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Right, bye.